Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Maruti Suzuki Swift rear wheel drive. This is the first generation model. This is the Swift 1.5. No, it does not have a 1.5 liter engine, but I'll explain in a bit. Now this car belongs to Hush from Sportech, so thank you so much for lending it to me. Check the pinned comment and straight away we are going to be opening the front. I'm not calling it the engine bay because there is no engine here. Instead, that is the fuel tank, which is like 43 liters in terms of capacity. There's the battery right below. So why have they shifted the fuel tank ahead, and where the hell is the engine? Anyways, washer fluid not there. Wipers are also not there. Weight reduction not really. Lot of fiberglass has been used to reduce the weight of the vehicle, and if you notice, you can't notice right now, but the tires are very much offset. Yeah, so weird the way the tires have been done because the front tires are more grippy. These are reverse staggered tire setup. So front ones are wider 185s, rear ones are 165s, rear ones are crap quality, JK tires of course. Front ones are actually MRF, so better quality at the front, worse quality at the rear. So this car can actually drift. Meanwhile, you get these clips here to hold the bumper. Weight reduction has happened for sure. The car has been lowered quite a lot, and the reason it does not have a wiper or wipers is because these vents are very much functional, so water will get inside. In fact, these vents are also functional. You get an antenna right there, and this being the first generation of the Maruti Suzuki Swift is now become a 3-door model because the rear doors do not open. And yes, this is fiberglass. The door does not open, the window does not open. All of this has been done to reduce the weight of the vehicle. Fuel does not go in right here anymore because the fuel tank is obviously at the front, which I just showed you. Meanwhile, rear tire, well, crap quality, 165, 70, 14. And there is a spray. The washer fluid is actually connected to the rear, so the spray comes here. So how does this actually work? You obviously know that when you run the car a lot, the tires warm up, they offer you better grip. How do you reduce the grip? Well, by putting water, because that cools the temperature of the tires, and then you can drift. And that's the reason this car has that system of spraying water to the rear tires, so this car can actually go and drift. From the rear, a typical Maruti Suzuki Swift, the first generation model. It has a rear spoiler, which is quite useless. No rear wiper washer because obviously this is again fiberglass. Branding of the workshop has been done there because they had to open it so that air could flow from there. And this is clipped right here. It's very difficult to remove. So I've actually gone ahead and opened it because you need both your hands and some effort. So here is the engine. There it is. It's a G13B. Floor is not there only, so it's completely open right there. This air intake is supposed to go right on the top to breathe directly, and it has got 2 fans here as well. But yes, the engine is going to heat for sure, and that's the reason it has this firewall so that it doesn't push the engine heat. It does when the car is idling, and gets a roll cage as well, so there is no spare wheel or anything of that sort. You don't expect it either. Where is the exhaust? Well, the exhaust is placed here, and this is actually the provision for the rear fog. So yeah, definitely it looks quite interesting. It's obviously very stiff, low ground clearance, staggered tire setup because they've done a camber just to make the car unbalanced so that it can go drifting, and we will straight away get inside. Firstly, this car has no key. Yeah, it has been bypassed. You get these sporty pedals from Sparco, roll cage, which is not that aggressive, so getting in and out is not difficult. You get proper power windows, at least the front ones work, but adjusting this manually is a tough task because you definitely cannot reach till there. Regular seat, you get a sporty seat here, bucket seat with sporty seat belt. Yes, it has got racing seat belts as well. So let's straight away get inside. There's a provision for fog lamp. There is no fog lamp in this car at all. Okay, it's not that bad getting in and out. It gets this Sparco racing steering wheel, which is too far ahead. It's not adjustable. It says horn. There is no horn in this car. Instrument cluster is the same as before. Anything in the glove box? Well, there is the engine kill switch, I think. Meanwhile, there's a fire extinguisher right here, which is very much needed in such a car. Now, the roof lining has been removed, and that's the reason that headroom seems quite a lot, but they've retained the light, which obviously does not work now. You have a hydraulic handbrake if you want to drift with the handbrake, but you don't need to because you can drift on power. This new gear lever, completely exposed, taller, and I think number plate and all that. So it's a little messy around here because a lot of exposed bits. Air conditioning. Audio system, you would never be able to hear it because the car is super loud. That clock, 550 rupees option back in the day. I remember because I bought one. The Swift, obviously this generation. So tell me, how do you turn on the car? This is for one of the fans. This is for the second fan. I put this switch up and then car is in gear. So it's moving. So I press the start button and there it rose to life. Oh my god, it is super loud. So let's just kill it. It's a very cool way to actually turn on the car, this handbrake now. I mean, you really don't need to use it because the car is not really going to move ahead as such. So yeah, it's quite sporty and super duper loud. From the interior front, where it looks more or less the same, but thankfully we have this thing to protect the heat from coming inside. It doesn't really help much because at idle, oh my god, I can feel all the heat. Anyways, let's start driving right away. Alright, let's turn on the car. We're going through the sequence. And there it rose to life into first gear and off we go. First gear. I don't know what speed it does because the speedometer is not working. But red line at 6,500 RPM. It's very, very, very loud. It's crazy loud. This is the G13B, which is so form. It produces 87 horsepower and 113 Newton meters of torque. But this car has got coating and polishing headers. It's got a free flow exhaust. Actually, it's a straight pipe exhaust, and obviously it's got a custom air filter as well. And the result is that it obviously sounds very loud, but it also does drive quite well. Now I'm just going to initiate a drift here. That is absolutely crazy, the way this car loses traction and drifts at any given speed. Yeah, it's possible to do it any gear. It does drift and it does drift a lot, but it's not drifting for a donut. It doesn't have the sustained power. But this engine with the straight pipe and the engine right behind, super loud. It's crazy loud, yeah. And the car moves all over the place because of the offset tire setup now. You really have to keep correcting. The steering has no feel either. So it can get a bit tricky to drive this car. Not a bit, quite a lot tricky to drive this car. And the tires are always screeching, yeah. The tires don't have grip. They're always protesting, saying, bus karo, is what they are saying. Ride quality is really very bad, and because of the loud engine now, you can feel very, very, very uncomfortable. Firstly, the gearing is quite tall, and then it also redlines quite high. The G13B was absolutely phenomenal. However, the K12 engine which came later was much more refined. Now this one is 1.3 liter in terms of displacement, so bigger engine in terms of cubic capacity, much more raw. With the K12 they obviously refined it quite a lot, and it's not very fast as such, so you have to drift in a lower gear only, usually by dumping the clutch, and then only it circles around. Ride is very bad, handling is decent. I wish the steering had more feel or feedback, but this is not a drift machine. This is more of a donut machine because that is where it feels more comfortable. There's another Swift, there's so many Swifts around. So how does it drift? Well, it does drift on power. You can pull the hydraulic handbrake to drift as well, but it drifts on power very easily. All you need to do is come into first gear, and there we are into first gear, and then you have to just dump the clutch. Okay, here, revving. That's how easy it is. Yeah, that is how easy it is to drift this car, because it does it in first gear, it loses traction very fast, overwhelms the rear wheel and spins like that. It's very fast in terms of doing donuts. Yeah, it's not a drift machine, it's more of a donut machine because it is just circling around quite fast. You can't sustain the drift because it's just not having the amount of power to sustain it. Oh god, brakes are so bad. Anyways, here we are into first. Oh my god, the bump, I could feel it all across my into first gear, revving the motor. It absolutely spins and rotates like that because of this rear wheel drive, and then performance is good for doing the drifts and the donuts, but this guy is super loud and super crazy. Well, my ears are spinning, my head is moving because because of the sound, and it's a very loud sound, not very pleasing, but it's extremely loud. This generation of the Swift is very close to my heart because I remember I had one in the family, the 2007. Oh my god, that bump is so bad. Okay, here we go. Let's initiate the drift. So much fun. I remember I had the first generation Swift, which was the diesel. As soon as the car came, lengths of wheels, fatter tires, and then I also added a tuning box to it, a cold air intake, and all those things, making it really fast. That Swift diesel had more punch than any supercar I've driven till date because it had a lot of turbo lag, and when the turbo kicked in, you got a proper kick in the pants feel as well. I miss the Swift, I miss the good old diesel engine, I miss the turbo lag because that was the siren before the storm. This generation of the Swift was a rattle machine, but I can't hear the rattle in this car because it is super duper crazy loud. What a loud car! I can't hear myself as well. That's how loud it is. Thank you so much for the video. I wish you guys in the next video also. Bye bye.